Man, he's fast. Really, really fast guy. And, I feel like it's always a good thing, to see a fellow Canadian, to step up and to really, establish himself. Again, great running back, he definitely separate with his speed and, he finds a hole, you let him find that hole, he'll get to going. It's going to be a problem for you.
Now, I know you're from completely different sides of the country, but were you familiar at all with Chuba?
No, not at all. Just from the outside looking in, again, another Canadian who has a dream of, trying to play ball at the highest level, and definitely, a lot of value in that. It's always a love seeing a guy come from the same country as you, understand the adversity you got to go through. And but other than that, I never gotten the chance to really speak with him. Where again, he's from another part of the country, and I'm from Ottawa. So,
well, I mean, to follow up on that, I know this week obviously y'all are on opposite sides, but do you find yourself rooting for other Canadian players?
Always, again, because we all, I feel like we all understand, how hard it is to make it out the country, and then on top of that, to try to be dominant and to be effective and to play down south. So I was rooting for my fellow Canadians, even for the guys at the next level, because that's still for those of us who aren't there yet. That's definitely something that we're striving to be. So.
Neville, do you think, not only Chuba, but Amen is up at OSU as well. It's kind of getting to the point now where there are guys from Canada on a lot of college teams that you don't even necessarily think about being Canadian. Are you seeing, is that more and more regular that you're finding guys on rosters, you're like, oh, there's another Canadian?
Definitely, I feel like, as guys continue to expand their game and, as coaches, continue to find reasons to go up and to go fly up in Canada, you're definitely going to see a lot of great players. You just got to go find them. And again, even for a Canadian, we know that we always got to find ways to kind of show that we're worth getting recruited. And there's obviously a lot of hardships in that, but again, if you have a mindset, you have the talent, but the work ethic to go with it, I feel like there's always going to be someone that's looking to give you opportunity.
You feel like what you guys are doing, the way you're playing, is maybe inspiring not only coaches to go look, but kids to think about the American football route in Canada?
I hope. I really hope so. But, just little reminders, because like I said, I always get quite a few guys, either from my hometown or just throughout the country, that'll reach out, trying to ask for a little bit of advice, or just through social media, it's so big now that I'm able to see guys that are, whether they're from the same city as I am or just being from the country, get that opportunity. And I know even during my process to get recruited, it was still really tough at that time. But again, it's just great to see guys that, come from the same kind of background, the same countries. You just finding an opportunity to play, and I hope it continues to expand. I hope it gets to the point where it really doesn't matter, where you come from, what country. If you can play ball, if you can play within the system, if coaches can trust you, if you can handle yourself on and off the field, that you get that opportunity.
Did you watch the Grey Cup last night?
No, I didn't. I was with my family.
Okay. Who's your team?
I don't really have a team, but I always go with my city, Ottawa Red Black. So, but I don't really have a team, but I always show love for my city.
Neville, you've been here a long time. How much confidence restoration did you guys need after some of the rough times you've gone through defensively over the last few years? How much of that is Alex Grinch's impact on you guys?
I feel like, one thing I love about Coach Grinch is that, he always kind of reminds us that, not to get too caught up in the moment, understand that literally that for this game of football, it's a team sport, but it's really just about, every single guy doing their job to the best of their abilities. You don't have to do anybody else's. You don't have to try and be a superhero. It's just, doing your job full speed and making plays when they count and just trying to be effective. And, I feel like, this year we've definitely grown. This is the most growth that I've seen just being a part of this program. And just to finally, just kind of see guys really just trust it. Trust their abilities, but trust in the coach. These past few games have been really tough. You know, they definitely come down to the wire. But just to see, you know, guys really just come together as a group, you know, and just really believe in each other and believe that, you know, that the coaches are trying to put us, you know, in the best possible situation to be successful. And, you know, that's happened these past few games. So obviously looking to improve. But
When you talk about the playing well early in the last few, there are a couple of games the defense slipped. Last couple of games you've been back playing really well. That inconsistency, is there any explanation for that?
There's no explanation. You know, the bottom line is, you know, if we're not hitting that standard that we have for ourselves, we're wrong. And, you know, the goal is to always hit the standard and exceed that standard. So every time we didn't, you know, we had to be better at that. You know, there's consequences for that, and obviously it showed up on game days. But, you know, again, you know, we play this game. We understand it's not going to be perfect all the time, you know, but, again, you can't get caught up in the moment. And Coach Grinch, as well as, you know, the rest of the coaches, you know, just constantly, you know, instill that in us that, you know, hey, next play, you know, no matter what happens, whether we're up, down, tie game, or whatever the situation is, you know, got to get the ball back to the offense. We got to get 3-and-out takeaways, and we got to make plays.
Neville, we didn't get to talk to you Saturday. What did winning the Don Key Award with Nick mean to you?
Man, that was really huge. That was really special for me. I still remember when Coach Riley had called me. I was right before I was about to do my presentation with class, and he told me that me and Nick won that award. And I know that's a very, very high award, especially, you know, here at OU. And that means a lot, you know, just the fact that these coaches and, you know, these people here, you know, had my name, you know, felt that I was worthy of that award because, you know, that's special. And then just to even have my family come down for this weekend and to be a part of that, I know they're happy. You know, a lot of emotions, but it was great. You know, I'm very thankful, very appreciative of that award. You know, that's something that's I'm gonna have with me, you know, for the rest of my life.
Neville, these last few years, if you look back 5-10 years at Bedlam, there's a lot of scores in the 40s, 50s, even a couple years ago, 60. It looks like the defenses with both teams are improved, and it's been grinder games for both teams the last few weeks. Do you think the defenses are having a little bit of a comeback, or do you expect another sort of 40, 50, 60-point game?
I mean, all I know is at the end of the day, you know, we got to be at our best. You know, again, you know, you play this game, you know, you can't look at the scoreboard. We can't really worry about what's put on, again, the scoreboard. We got to worry about us, you know, and basically always trying to find ways to play our best ball. You know, that's why we play this game. We want to be great, and, you know, you can't really look at the other factors that you can't control. So, you know, the biggest thing for us is just trying to make sure that, you know, we home in on the little things, details, and again, just doing what we do and trying to do what we do consistently.
2 years ago, you're in that 62-52 game up in Stillwater. You're there, I know. Like, when you're in a game like that, does it feel crazier than, say, like 28-24 game like we saw on Saturday, or is it sort of comparable when you talk about just sort of the wildness of a game that's like that?
You know, again, I try not to get too caught up in the hype or caught up in the moment of the game. Usually, like I said, you know, when we're out on the field, we just know that our job has to get done, and we got to be effective, you know. So it doesn't really matter what the score is. It could be tied, we could be up, we could be down. Whatever the situation is, you know, we know that we still got a job to do, and we got to make the plays, make everything count.
When Kenneth Murray's playing with the confidence he played with on Saturday, do you guys feed off that?
Definitely, you know, we feed off the confidence. We feed off of everybody making plays. But, you know, again, you know, K9, freak athlete, you know, he shows up every game. But, you know, to see him again, get back to just, you know, playing out his style of ball, you know, again, we feed off of that, you know. Big hits, just making plays in the backfield and, you know, running stuff down, you know, just being the guy that we all know he is. You know, it was great to just see that.
Grinch said it gives him more credibility as a leader as well. Is he more vocal when he's playing confident like that?
The thing that's great about K9, you know, he's vocal regardless. You know, whether, you know, say, you know, if it's not going his way, you know, still always trying to find ways to motivate the team. And I feel like, you know, by him doing that, you know, he's motivating himself. So, again, you know, and then for him to, when he makes those plays and he's effective, again, it just adds even more value because you know it's a guy who's speaking, but his actions are backing it up.
Neville, you got asked about Chuba earlier, his Canadian roots, but as a guy that has that sort of touchdown, home run ability on any time he touches the ball, when you go against a guy like that, I mean, Rager was sort of that way on Saturday. When you go against a guy that has that quick strike ability, does that change anything defensively? Do you have to sort of always have one eye on that guy, or how does that affect things?
Again, it's just we got to worry about us. You know, again, he's a great player. You know, you see it every Saturday. You know, very explosive guy. But again, we just got to go back to again. Coach is gonna have a plan for us. They're gonna put us in the best spots that we possibly can. We got to make those plays and make everything count. So there's no doubt in my mind. You know, the coaches are gonna do whatever they got to do to make sure that you know we're ready for that game. So just looking for that opportunity. You know, it starts today. And it's got to carry over throughout the rest of the week up until game day.
What have you learned in your time about Bedlam since you've been in Oklahoma?
You know, very intense game, a lot of emotions. You know, crosstown, rivalry, obviously, and it's a big game. It's a game again. Being a part of this culture, being a part of this team, you look forward to. You know, and again, just looking for that opportunity to compete. You know, just want to get that chance to compete, go out there, have fun, and play strong, and to just do what we do.